And typically in a reflex arc, there is a sensory nerve carrying information through a unipolar neuron that interfaces in the spinal cord with a multipolar neuron that then can interface with a motor neuron and then send information back out to the periphery. So this is a sensory neuron. This is an interneuron. Sometimes it stays on the same side. In the case of that, what I was telling you about earlier, listen close, in the case of what I was telling you about earlier, when you detect heat and you get a withdrawal reflex immediately in that same arm, that's what you're getting right here. Straight into the spinal cord and then bam, straight back out. It doesn't have to be processed by the brain. That's cool. Now, when this crosses over and ascends to the brain, then that's when you get localization of the pain and you understand the character of the pain, the intensity of the pain. But this is a motor neuron, just like I drew a minute ago. And this would carry information back out to a muscle, for instance. So if this nerve right here, if this detected the heat of a flame, if it detected the burning, then the motor neuron would control a muscle contraction. There's a muscle attached to an origin and insertion that's allowing for a withdrawal reflex. And that is basically, some people call this a reflex arc. Another example of this same system right here is if you're seated and somebody zonks you on the patellar tendon and your knee kicks out, a reflex. Here's why that happens. What happens is when you get zonked on the knee, there are sensors in that patellar tendon that get that immediate bend, and they think they are being stretched beyond belief. And so what does your muscle do? As a reflex, it shortens the muscle, thus shortening the tendon, and you get the reflex from it. So this is one way that you can test a reflex. Now, because this does have to be processed through the spine, if somebody's got a disc problem in their back, then it may go right to here, but because of the impingement of the swelling on the nerve, you may not get a reflex from it. And so that's one of the reasons why doctors do a reflex. Is this whole system patent all the way through here?